Having worked on the book for 50 years came as a surprise. I was writing that first draft, and the first sentence was, the first edition of this book came out in 1967. And then I suddenly realized that this edition was going to come out in 2017, and I practically fell off my chair. I couldn't realize that these 50 years had gone by. Now, as one ages, one tends to think time flies by. But this was really amazing to think that 50 years had been devoted to this textbook. And I can't say I've gotten used to it yet. "50 years ago, the comprehensive textbook was originated as an idea of the senior editor, Dr. Harold Kaplan, whose name is still on the book. At that time, he felt it was absolutely necessary that there be a book that represented the whole field of psychiatry.
I know the start of it. I know that it was desirable, and Harold Kaplan felt it was extraordinarily desirable, and he was very prescient to think so, to have a textbook that addressed the core of learning and the body of knowledge that exists and continues to develop and exist in psychiatry.
This particular book is the textbook, not only in the United States, but worldwide. This book is also prepared in such a way that is very educationally driven. So if you want to use it to train medical students, psychiatric residents, fellows, other type of super specialty areas like pediatrics and this and the other, you could use the textbook. So it's a book that is very useful to teach. It's very useful to treat patients by following what the book recommends. It makes you feel comfortable because the book has what you need to know. If somebody really wants to learn about psychiatry, if somebody wants to have handy all the areas of the field of mental health, the textbook have it. So this is why the textbook keeps moving forward in a very positive way.
It just seems like an amazing accomplishment, and I say that with great modesty, because it's certainly not my accomplishment. In the 60s, the field had expanded sufficiently so there were a variety of points of view. And it was necessary then to have a group of contributors, and this was the first time that we had a multi-contributor book that reflected the field. And that was a very important development.
Well, 50 years ago, I was included in the comprehensive textbook of psychiatry. I've been part of it since the beginning. But I did not officially become an editor till 1998, when Harold Kaplan passed away. My co-authors actually chose to work with me rather than my choosing to work with them. But that, I mean, they offered me the opportunity and they selected me. One, obviously, I was married to. And the other, as I say, was both a mentor and a friend. And then, of course, more recently, there has been Pedro Ruiz, who's been a phenomenal addition. I mean, he's a marvelous psychiatrist. He is world-renowned, and he is involved internationally in terms of working in the early days when I worked with Harold and Ben. They didn't always see eye to eye on things, and for some reason, they both trusted me. So that was a unique and rewarding and marvelous position to be in.
Something which is very crucial and is very important is that this textbook has the best authors of the different topics that the book covers.
Getting your contributors, and that is both very hard work and very gratifying, because you're speaking to the best people in the field and you are including them in a project that you love and you hope they're very happy to be in it.
When you think of 50 years, you also think of the number of contributors. And I once tried to tally it up, and I stopped after 1,500. So we've had 1,500 psychiatrists, behavioral scientists contribute to this book over this period of time. And that's an amazing figure. And it represents the history of psychiatry as much as it does the current status of psychiatry. And I find that humbling.